Ya Ali Madad Niamat Saiba.
Malali Madad, Malali Madad. It seems friends are still joining, so I'll take the opportunity to do a little more zikr. We do have our session on understanding of the Farmans, but I wanted to share this special zikr which we used to say in our old dua. This is from our old dua. It says, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. And this was Pir Sadruddin's dua. And interestingly, Pir Sadruddin has taken this zikr and put in our dua, Gujarati dua, from the Quran. These are two references where this zikr is being taken. Chapter 3, verse 173, and chapter 8, verse 40. And it means so beautiful. It means that Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs, and the best protector, and the best helper. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. Ya Mawla, with your mercy, we all have gathered here, Mawla. It is truly your mercy that we find this desire in our heart to understand the deeper meaning of your Farameens, Mawla. Ya Mawla Meherban, this humble slave is needing your madad, Mawla. Ya Mawla Meherban, be the light on Nachi's tongue, Mawla, that the pearls of knowledge can be shared with the friends which are hidden in your beautiful Farameens, Mawla. Ya Mawla Meherban, make us more curious to learn this true knowledge, deeper meaning of the Farameens, Mawla, in the light of today's time, in the light of today's guidance, Mawla. Ya Mawla Meherban, help us, help us, help us, Mawla. Once again, Ya Ali Madad to all friends. We have gathered here with the request of friends from Africa that we need to discuss the Farameens of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. May our souls be sacrificed to this Imam. This Imam is very special, very unique Imam. His Farameens are full of wisdom, layers of wisdom. And with mercy of Imam and your prayers, this Nachis will discuss what limited knowledge I have. Kalam-i Imam-i Mubin, we had started talking about this Farman, the first Farman of Imam. We had covered one paragraph of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's first Farman. Today there is a special paragraph I would like to focus. But before I go further, I do again would like to show the slides to friends who came later, that this is the zikr which I recited before starting this talk, And this zikr is from our old dua. Our dua, which we used to recite, which was given to us by Pir Sadruddin. And in that dua, we used to recite this zikr, Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakil wa ni'mal mawla wa ni'mal nasir. And these are two different Quranic verses. And it means such a beautiful, powerful prayer actually. Allah is sufficient for us, and He is the best disposer of affairs, and the best protector, and the best helper. When Mawla is with us, who is the best protector, best helper, we are okay. We are blessed. So Alhamdulillah, with this beautiful prayer seeking His madad, who is the best, we will have a beautiful session. There are friends who reached out who do like to learn about different zikr. And if friends today who are joining, if they are interested, I would like you to please let admin know that they are desiring to learn different zikr, so we can fill our free time, our free thoughts, which do continue to go only to our worldly life. We replace those thoughts, that time, with different beautiful zikr. So if friends are interested to learn that, Naveen Sahiba and our admin people can actually help you get those recordings. And listening to those recordings, I believe that our hearts will be enlightened, and we will find peace and happiness, because these are praises of our Imam, knowing how our Imam is here for us, to help us, to guide us, to protect us. So if you are interested, do put your names that you are interested to learn these zikr. Now getting back to our Farman. Remember, these Faramins of Kalam-i Imam-i Mubin have not properly been translated. There are different translations which are available, but what happens that because it is not done with proper skills of translations, those who know Gujarati, they will be able to find that there are areas where it can be improved. So today, with Maula's blessing, I did find the paragraph we are discussing, going to discuss today in English. So I will share with you the English part too. But based on my learning from you all who are joining, that some of you do know Gujarati too. So I would like to continue to read the transliteration, because there are issues in translation, even in this first paragraph, which is a beautifully translation, but there are areas where it can be made better. So we will recite Salawat Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. આ આખેર જમાનો છે, તેમાં જેઓ ઈમાનદાર છે તેઓને પોતાના ઇમામની કુદરત અને કરામતો જોવામાં આવશે, પણ જેઓ આંધળા અધૂરા દિલવાળા છે તેઓ જાહેર કરામતો જોશે તો પણ તેને ખોટી કરીને સમજશે. જેઓએ પૈગંબર, નબી અને ઇમામની કુદરત અને કરામતો ને માની નથી, તેઓની મિસાલ આંધળા માફક છે. આંધળાને જો આરસી તેમજ ઠેકરી આપીએ તો તે બંનેની માયના સરખી છે. અધૂરા મનવાળા અમને પોતાના જેવા સમજે છે. જાહેરમાં અમે દરવેશી ઇખ્તિયાર કરી બેઠા છીએ, પણ ખુદાવંદ તાલાની દરગાહમાં બુઝુર્ગી પામેલા છીએ. સબબ અમે પૈગંબરની આલ છીએ. અમારા ઘરની તારીફો અને કુદરત જેવો ઇલ્મમાં વાકિફગાર છે તેઓ સમજશે. અધૂરા ઈમાન વાળાઓને અમારા ઉપર બિલકુલ વિશ્વાસ નહીં આવશે. જેવો આવા છે તેઓ અમને વહાલા કેમ લાગે? તેઓ પોતાનું નુકસાન કરશે, અમને બિલકુલ કાંઈ નહીં થશે. So this is the transliteration of the Gujarati Farman. Let me now share the English translation which I have. Now, this is the English translation, and let's focus. I have highlighted all the key words which I would like to focus because this Farman is so powerful. It is so powerful that I don't think we have truly paid attention to understand the wisdoms which are hidden in this Farman. So first, Mola says this is the last period. Now, when we just take the word last period, what does it mean? End time, time of Qiyamah, Yawm al-Qiyamah, day of judgment. The last period alludes to the time of Qiyamah. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, when he gave us this Farman in 1885, Imam announced when he sat on the Gadi that this is the last period, meaning the time of Qiyamah actually started with Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah sitting on the Gadi. Imam is saying it. Now the word Qiyamat, whenever we talk of word Qiyamat, there is the picture comes which a very scary picture comes in our mind. Why and how? Because it is Qiyamah has been attached with fear. And there are very many Quranic verses which talks about Qiyamah in kind of horror like verses, and people get really scared. And we do because it's time of judgment. Our accounts will be taken. And those who are true mu'minins, they are the only ones who have followed the faramins of Imam with conviction. They will have no fear. Those who have understood the Imam's faramin in great depths and followed it according to that, they will have no fear. But please fear not. Even we who are walking on this path, and we do know that we are sinful, we are learning, and we want to become pure day by day, moment by moment. So do not fear, because Alhamdulillah, we have gathered in knowledge classes, true knowledge classes. And in this, we will understand how different wisdoms are hidden. And we need to learn these wisdoms so we can truly work on it and follow the Imam's Faramin with complete understanding of it. When we talk of the word Qiyamat, the word Qiyamat actually means changes. The word Qiyamat actually means changes. So when we hear Imam talking about this is the last period, this is the time of Qiyamah, actually he's talking about changes. Now the word Qiyamah has very many meanings. In fact, Qiyamah is being mentioned in Quran, and it is so beautiful, the concept of Qiyamah. Inshallah, with time
Yes, we are all done.
we will understand that. When Imam sat on the Gadi, he said this is the last period, end time. And then Imam goes further describing who is going to be benefiting or who is going to be at a level who will understand and get the blessings of the Qiyamah. Remember, Qiyamah in our mind is like a horror story. But in reality, Imam is telling us. Imam is saying, whosoever has the true faith in Imam, true faith, Hakiki Iman, Sacha Iman, in Imam, will witness the miracles and impressive events. See the meaning of the Qiyamah right here. That it will be a time where there will be majizat of Imam happening and impressive events also happening, meaning changes. And it will be witnessed by those who have true faith. Those who have half-hearted faith, despite witnessing the miracles, will not believe in them. So Jama'at is sitting in front of Imam. This Farman is not outside the Jama'at. This is for Jama'at. Jama'at is sitting right in front of Imam. And Imam is saying that there are two groups I see. Imam is announcing the time of Qiyamah, saying that those who have true faith, they will witness the miracles. Why? Because they have faith in Imam. They will believe in these miracles. Whereas among from the Jama'at, those who have half-hearted faith, adhura iman, they will also witness it, but they will not believe it. They will not believe it. Why? Because the iman is adhura, meaning they are in Ismaili Jama'at. They go to Jamaat Khana, they pay the song, they go to Sajda, they say, Imam, we are Ismailis. But they do not believe in Imam. Why? Because the Iman is adhura. It is a half-hearted faith. Half-hearted faith. They will also witness the miracles, but they will not believe in it. Instead, they will call it all false. Not only that they will not believe in the miracles of Imam, but they will call it false. Can we imagine Ismailis doing that? We would say no. Our answer would be no. How come Imam is saying that? When Imam is saying it, it's completely true, it's a fact. Imam sees our souls, Imam sees what our thoughts are. Mola jane chit ki chori. There's nothing hidden from Imam. Imam is seeing the Jamaat and saying there are two groups within the Jamaat. There are those who have complete faith, and there are those who have half-hearted faith. Imam's miracles are constantly happening. Impressive events are constantly happening. But only that true faith, those mu'minins who have true faith, they will believe in it. But those who have half-hearted faith, they will witness it, will not believe it, and call them false. Now, that is something beyond our realization or imagination, that we would go kind of against Imam's miracles, that, oh, we don't believe in the miracles. And it is not true. Meaning, the emphasis is on faith, our Iman. Where is our Iman? With our Iman, are we able to see how these miracles are happening? And when they are happening, do we believe in it? Do we relate it to Imam's miracles? And then Mola says, those who have not believed in divine powers of prophets, Prophet and Imam, are an example of a blind man, who, if given a piece of mirror or glass, will consider both the same. Here I was referring to the Gujarati transliteration, because in Gujarati it says Prophet, Nabi, Imam. And then it says mirror and clay, tekery. The clay, which is like in our, vessels for water, matka, clay. Imam uses that word, tekery. So translators have not taken the right terms to translate. And that keeps on happening, because it takes a skills to really translate Imam's Faramin in proper, English language. That is what is always, it is Imam's, Hazi Imam's Farman, that read the primary sources, because we miss out when it is translated one hand, two hand, we miss out on the true understanding Imam is giving us his Faramin. So we are blessed that we, at least, if we don't know how to read Gujarati, we can read the transliteration, because we are used to listening to our parents or grandparents, and we can at least identify those crucial words and then go into detail of that. So let's just pause here first and talk about Qiyamah. Qiyamat, which is end time, and there are majizat happening. If we just look at the time of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's time started on donkey cart or horse cart. But then by the end of Imam's that Jama, we had planes flying in sky. People had gone to moon, were planning to go to moon. Changes happening in the world, so many changes, drastic changes. And I like to refer to one of the very important event where in all the Western places, hotels or whatever you talk of, there will be board outside that dogs and Indians are not allowed. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah is one who was invited into the court of Queen Victoria. And not only that Victoria Queen called Imam in the court, but she made him sit on the chair which is kept in the court for Jesus. It always is empty. And she tells him to sit there. And all the members of the court, they got upset at Queen. They said, how could you make him sit there? She was a queen, British queen, conquering the whole world at that time. They were colonizing everything in every country. She makes Imam sit on the chair of Jesus, not Ismaili. She is able to see what is Imam's status, even in the worldly sense. And when all the court members, officials, they complained, she says, I don't see anybody else in this world more than worthy than Aga Khan to be sitting on that chair. This is a worldly person seeing the worldly work of Imam and respecting, honoring Imam to be sitting on the chair which is kept in the court, British court, for just Jesus. Imam is sitting there. Why? Because she was witnessing the worldly miracles Imam was doing. But this Farman is actually to the Jama'at. Within the Jama'at, there are two groups of people. Now again, let's just focus on Qiyamah first. Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, the way Imam gave Isme Azam to Jamaat, it has never happened before in the history. Do we know that? Historically, to get Isme Azam was extremely difficult, very difficult. There were tests being taken from the Jamaat to see if you are capable of passing the test, then only you can be given the Isme Azam. And it was not just one test, layers of tests were taken, making them wake up early in the morning, keeping a stick on their head. Do you fall asleep? Do you yawn? If the stick falls, you cannot get Isme Azam. Very harsh tests were taken from Jamati members who came forward and said, we do want to practice Isme Azam and sit in Ibadat. And 99% of the Jamati members would fail those tests, keeping a ice, the block of ice on the back. Do you move or not? Imagine, and at night time, if you move, that's it, you're out. You failed the test. Today, we cannot even comprehend how can these tests would be taken. But these tests were taken from the Jamaat. The miracle of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah is that Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah gave Isme Azam to everybody, whoever wanted it. Why? Because it is the end time. Because it is the end time. There were miracles happening, about to happen due to the end time. And Imam wanted to help us to prepare ourselves spiritually to be able to witness those miracles, not just physically, but spiritually. Because Iman comes from inside. Iman is not bookish. Iman is within our heart. We believe something inside from inside us. To strengthen our faith, to love Imam, to come close to that light which is Imam, we needed the practice of Isme Azam. So Imam had given Isme Azam to anyone who came forward. But then there are half-hearted faith people despite of seeing all the miracles which were happening physically in the world and spiritually. Because of their lack of iman, they did not believe. In fact, they called it false. Nevertheless, Imam goes further and says that those who have not believed in the divine powers of Prophet, Nabi, and Imam. And I did touch a little bit last time, and I'd like to go into detail because the objective here is that we truly go into detail of these Farameens to understand in the light of Imam's guidance today. And being the Jama'at, which is from subcontinent Indo-Pak, like India, Pakistan, Africa, what had happened that we did not learn the knowledge of Quran, majority of us. And for that, it is a good idea to learn these Farameens in the light of Ginans and Quran to be able to see and understand all the terms Imam is using. So in Gujarati Farman, I just showed you that Imam has talked about Prophet, Nabi, and Imam. Now, why in English it was quickly said Prophet and Imam? It is the limitation of the language, actually. It is the limitation of the language. When we say prophet, we do know we have 124,000 prophets. But in reality, it is not just prophets. There are ranks within these numbers. There are darjat within these numbers. Number one, we have a term natik. Natik are 6 out of 124,000. And 124,000 are minor prophet. So there are major prophets and then there are minor prophets. When we use the term prophets, it does not do justice to the different ranks we have. So Natik are those exalted Pagambars who brought their Sharia, their law, Sharia law. They had their books and they brought the changes according to their time. And those are Hazrat Adam alayhi salam, Hazrat Noah alayhi salam, Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, and Prophet Muhammad. We believe in all the Natik. Being Ismaili Muslims, we believe in all the Natik and 124,000 minor prophets. So minor prophets and major prophets. So when we say Nabi, the one who has Nabuwat, or we say Pagambar, the one who gives Pagam, meaning messenger, all can be fit into the word prophet because of the limitation of the language. And that is why we have to learn these terms, Natik, prophet, uh, messenger, Nabi, because each term means something different. So here what we are learning that Imam is telling us that there are darjat in prophets and Imams. Those who have knowledge will understand that. So who have not believed in the divine powers of Prophet and Imam are an example of a blind man. Blind man, example. Not that anyone was blind sitting there, or there is no one, right now is blind. But when we don't understand these examples, behind the example, there is essence, there is hidden truth. The way Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah in his Farman says that you eat almond bark, but you don't eat the essence, the mugs nahi khate ho. Meaning that we do get stuck on the example and we never get to the essence of it. People like those are blind. They have the eyes, but their eyes of their hearts are blind. And they cannot understand what is the difference between a piece of a glass or mirror, or piece of a stone or mirror, or piece of a tekri and mirror. Now, why Imam is giving us these two examples? What is the difference? So let's just talk about the example. When we take a piece of mirror, very, very important to understand the deeper meaning. In the mirror, what would we see? Our own reflection, our own reflection, our own hakikat. The reason mirror is being taken In the mirror, if we truly see with the eyes of knowledge, eyes of wisdom, with Iman, we will see our own true reflection, which is actually Imam. We are not ourselves. The soul which is within us, it is not this body only. It is the child of Imam. It is the part of the Imam, and that's how we are connected to Imam. If those mu'mineen who have the Iman, when they look in the mirror, they will be able to see what? Man arfa nafsehi faqad arfa rabbihi. The one who recognizes themselves will recognize their Lord. It starts from understanding ourselves, and our reflection is seen in the mirror. This example actually is talking about that hadith, that those who know themselves will know their Lord. So mirror has a higher status. Mirror has a higher status. There are darajat, there are ranks in everything, versus a piece of a stone or a takery. Now, because those friends who understand Gujarati, and we do like to take care of all the friends with different languages, the word takery has a tawil too. The word takery, clay, has also a meaning in it. If you just take example of a stone is stone. But when you take a piece of clay and you knock on it, it'll make sound. Stone will not. Actually, Quran talks about it. And Quran says that we have made you from the sounding clay. Sounding clay. And Allah refers to the example of a clay and with making of Adam. Adam, who was the first man on the planet, right? That's how we understand it. He was made out of that clay, which was sounding. Now, what does that mean? Why would Imam take the example of clay here? Because there is a wisdom behind it, there is a ta'wil behind it. Now, this is from the Quranic knowledge that we understand that when the humans are made, we do know that humans are made from dust. And in the example of Adam, that every man who is Bani Adam, children of Adam, are made of clay. But clay which sounds. And if we just take the story of Adam from Faramins, Ginans, and even Quran, that Adam was someone who had elevated himself so much so that the high-ranking angel, Azazil, had problems with him. And he said, I will not accept, I will not bow down to Adam because he's made of clay and I'm made of fire. Again, clay and fire, what are we referring to? We are referring to darjat, ranks. Everything has ranks. Here, Imam's word that either you take a mirror, which will show us our reflection, or you take a piece of clay. Clay sounds, meaning if someone is made of clay, taking the example of clay, the attributions of clay is it sounds me, 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 me. I am somebody, I am so and so, I know so much. Sounding clay. But Adam, in case of Adam, he did not stay till the stage of clay. He kept on climbing the ladder. The way Imam says that we are connected, I'm giving you this bowl, this link, and you are connected to Imam with that link. Now, when we take the example of link, we have to constantly, Imam says, link by link, come near to the Nur, meaning there's climbing involved, there's progress involved. Link by link, we have to climb up to be one with the Imam. Adam did that. So, Imam in this example is talking about a piece of clay and a piece of mirror, totally different attributions. Mirror will show us our reflection, who we are. Mirror at the beginning level, when we do not have true knowledge, we might say, oh, I am so and so. I know so much. I am a title holder. I am sitting on the path. I am this and I am so. But the moment who has the knowledge will say, I am no one. જ્યારે कुछ नहीं था सो ત્યારે सर्वे कुछ. There's a beautiful Ginan verse that those who call themselves nachis, those who call themselves nothing, are actually beloved by Mima. Teachings of our Pir. Mirror will show us our reflection. Where do we stand? What is our stage? Who we are. Mirror will also show man arfa nafsahi faqad arfa rabbihi. But all that happens step by step. Versus a clay, which is only about me, 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 me. Imam is talking about those blind members in Jama'at. For them, give them a piece of mirror, which has a higher understanding, or give them a piece of clay. They will not be able to distinguish what is it. They'll throw it away. Then Imam says, half-hearted ones presume us like them. Now those who do not have Iman. Now when I say Iman here, the whole Jamaat has Iman on Imam. But when we don't know Imam's hakikat, the level of Iman is lesser. And Imam is saying that, I am not saying it. Half-hearted faith. Those who have half-hearted faith will see Imam and think of Imam as like that. And our peers have taught us and told us, Ek kach fikar munivar amne tamari, manas rupe sahib janamji. When we see Imam, oh, Imam is sick, Imam has lost weight, did we see his nur? Or we're just going to talk about his physical body? And that is what Peer said, I'm worried about you, 600 years ago. They will presume us like them, meaning Imam is just an ordinary human being, just like us, loses weight or becomes sick. But those who have Iman will see beyond the physical limitations, physical body. It is the Nur. Seemingly, we observe Sufism. Imam says, I'm Darwish, but in the court of Allah, we are revered. We are Buzruk. We are exalted. In the court of Allah, we are exalted. There is an honor of Imam. He is Buzruk, he is the Nur of Allah. And when we talk of Nur of Allah, there are two important terms we got to learn. Those friends who would like to write it down and understand it, I would request admin to write it down in the chat so they can understand the terms. Noor-e Mujassam. In English, it is embodied Nur. Nur which has a body, and that is Imam. The Nur of Allah is in this physical body, which is Imam. Embodied Nur, Noor-e Mujassam. But then there is a term which is Noor-e Mujarrad. Mujarrad meaning abstract Nur. Beyond our reach, beyond our comprehension, beyond our understanding, that is Allah. We don't know Allah. We know our Imam. It is the same and the one Nur. Nur of Allah is embodied in the Imam. And that is why we call him our Imam. He is the Nur of Allah. Embodied Nur. And that's what Imam is saying. That physically I may look like a Darwish, but the darja, the rank of Imam is above all the humans, the whole humanity. Imam is the Amirul Mu'mineen. He is that perfect man, Insan-e Kamil. All humans are there, but the rank of Imam is above all them. Why? Because he is that Nur of Allah. He is nothing like us. His body may get sick, But he is not just the body, he is more than the body. He is the Noor. And then Mullah says, as we are from the holy progeny of Prophet Muhammad, Ali Nabi Aulad Ali, direct descendant. Maulana Hazimam announced in Canadian Parliament that he is the direct descendant of Hazrat Ibrahim. Why Imam did that? Why didn't he say, I'm direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad? Did we ever thought about it? You know, Imams that speech, Imams that action. In Christian world, in Western world, people refuse. After Jesus, there is no one. There's no prophet, there's no one. He's Son of God, and that is it. End of the guidance from Allah. By saying that we are, Maula saying that I'm the direct descendant of Prophet Muhammad, my progeny is from Hazrat Ibrahim, Imam has said in two different places. The Western world today accepts that yes, Prophet Muhammad is the prophet who brought the talimat of Islam and the guidance. And Hazi Imam is the direct descendant of the Prophet Muhammad. Imam's miracle, did we witness it? Did we believe it? That how in the Western world now people accept that there is someone after Jesus. Prophet Muhammad is the Paigambar of Allah who came after Hazrat Isa alayhi salam. We as Muslim Ismailis, we believe that. The Western world, the Christian world does not. But now they accept it. They accept it because of Hazi Imam. That is Hazi Imam's miracle. Did we witness it? Did we understand that? How Imam is changing their thoughts, their mind. Then Maula says, exaltation and divinity of our house is known by those who are in true knowledge. Those Jama'ati members, the Jama'at, Ismaili Jama'at, are divided in two groups. One with the true faith, other with the half-hearted faith. Only those who have true knowledge, they are the ones who will know how Imam is Imam. What are those impressive events and miracles are happening due to the time of Qiyamah? It is happening. We might know it or not know it. It does not make any difference. Imam is saying that. Those who have true knowledge. Now, what is this true knowledge? There is a lot of knowledge in today's time. Even our WhatsApp group are flooded with these things sharing. How much time is being spent on checking on WhatsApp? How many minutes, hours, thoughts are spent on learning on true knowledge? True knowledge. The sources of true knowledge for us is Ginan, Faramans, and Quran. They all talk about the Noor of the Imam. But the beauty of today's time is the change, one of the biggest change which we see in our Jamaat Khana, that Quran is referred to in every majlis, every waz, every article. Due to the hidayat of Imam. It is Imam's hidayat that Jamaat should know about Quran. Do we understand these faramins in the light of Quran? I refer to Quran several times. Those who will have true knowledge, they are the only ones who will understand what does it mean. What does it mean that we are born in today's time? What are those miracles which are happening due to the time of Qiyamah? Where does our faith stand? If we were to have true knowledge or we are seeking true knowledge, we don't need to worry. We are on the path. Yeah, we do need to run faster. We have to learn a lot to be able to catch up. Then Imam says, this is very harsh. I find it very, very difficult for me. When Imam says, those who are in true knowledge, then Imam says, half-hearted will not have any trust on us. Not having trust in Imam? Do we not put our all trust in Imam? That's what we say in our dua 3 times a day, in our so many zikr. Imam is saying that they will have no trust on us. We do not want to be those who have half-hearted faith. We want to seek this true knowledge, deeper understanding, deeper meaning. So we have trust in Imam. We may think we have trust. We may think, but is it based on the true knowledge? That's the question. Then Imam says, how could we love such people? How could? And this is Imam talking to Jama'at. Now this is worrisome, really worrisome. Imam calls us my spiritual children. Does he not love us? Someone may say, oh, this is Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's Farman. Hazrat Imam doesn't say like that. Yes, this is not Farman of Hazrat Imam. It is Farman of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah. Do we understand the Noor or the Jama? The Jama changes. If Imam has not talked about, there are times when Farmans do change. We got to understand Farmans to Farmans too. There are historical Farmans, there are Farmans in time, there are Farmans related to Ruhaniyat. This is Ruhani Farman, telling us about how to progress in increasing our faith. This is not being changed by Hazrat Imam. So let me just pause here and tell you about briefly that there are 3 different types of faramins. Number one, there are historical farmans depending on history and the location where it was given. When I say location, I mean, for example, in Africa, in Uganda, when Imam said, leave Uganda, Jama'at left. That farman is not applicable today. Today, Jama'at is moving back to Africa. Today, it's not the time to leave Africa. But that farman, which was in location-wise, time-wise, yesterday's farman that leave Uganda, and Jamaat left. Then there are faramins which are for Ruhaniyat. Those faramins do not change. Then there are faramins according to time. For example, Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's faramin, if we were to study Baitul Khal faramin, Imam says that if the girl is 12 years old, 13 years old, or boy is 14, 16 years old, get them married. 12, 13, 14, they are teens. But that was true in that time. Hazi Imam's farman is, even if you are 30 years old and not standing on your feet, do not think of getting married. That farman has been changed. So if Imam changes farmans, then we say, okay, we do not need to, say that Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has said, get a girl married in their teen years, girls or boys. We will not do that today because that is not valid. Imam's guidance has changed. But this is about our Rouhani. It has not been changed. So do not be mistaken and think, oh, this is Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's farman. It is not Hazi Imam's farman. The difference is Hazrat Imam knows today we are educated. There is secular education on our belts. We are able to read, converse, articulate. During the time of Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, majority of the Jamaat were not educated, especially in these areas. They were not educated. So Imam has taught us like kids, eat this and eat not that. So please do understand, this is as valid farman today as it was in 1885. Imam is saying, how could we love such people? Who are these people? Those who have half-hearted faith, those who will witness the miracles, will not believe and call it false, those who do not have true knowledge. Those who do not have true knowledge. What we can do as Imam's Murid today, seek true knowledge, seek deeper understanding of our Faramins, Ginans, and Quran. We got to learn all those 3. We cannot say, oh, I'm expert in this and I don't know that. We got to all learn all. Now, nobody is saying that we need to start learning Gujarati because the Gurans are in Gujarati or the Quran is in Arabic, so we need to learn Arabic. No, we are not someone who's going to eat the bark of the almond. We are very focused learners. We want the essence, mugs. The word for mugs is wisdom, tawil. What is the deeper understanding? What is the tawil? And imagine we are just talking about just one paragraph. Imam says, how could we love them? So those out of so many friends who got messages, I would say you are the true seekers of true knowledge. You are the lovers of Imam. Because to love Imam, it starts with action, not just the lip service. Those who took out the time and attended are focused, listening, paying attention to it, reflecting at the same time. These are the true seekers. That's what Imam is saying. So the opposite of that, Imam says, how could we love such people? Those who are not interested in true knowledge, they have half-hearted faith, Imam will not love them. But then opposite of that, those who are seekers of knowledge, those who are desiring and wanting to learn true knowledge, make their Iman stronger, definitely Imam will love them. And I see you all as the lovers of Imam because you're physically here today listening. Then look at this word, this line. They have harmed themselves, not that it will affect us in any ways. Imam is not going to be affected. Why? Does not Imam love us? Does not Imam care about us? We are Ismailis, Mawla. We will immediately say that. Yes, Imam does care for us. Imam does love us. That's why he gives us Farman. But when we, with our own willingness, do not follow the Farman, whose fault is that? So this paragraph is very, very powerful and we can continue to talk about it. But I believe that this one paragraph has set the stage for those who are here that we are going to learn these faramins, the understanding of these faramins, inshallah, with your prayers, Imam's mercy in the light of Ginans and Farmans and Quran. So we can understand the deeper meaning hidden in it, the wisdom which is according to our time and Imam's guidance in today's time. Do you know Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah has called Ismaili Jama'at as people of time? We live with time. And we are witness to that we see different Muslims, they are not living with time. And Ismaili Jamaat being Muslims, we are so progressive, so forward, and so successful in our physical life. It is all due to the guidance of the Imam. Those who are paying attention to Imam's Farami, with the worldly progress, worldly Faramins, the progress of the world, with spiritual Faramins as well, they are also progressing in their spirituality. Hazrat Imam has given the Isma Azam so openly to everybody, anybody. This time when Hazrat Imam came, thousands and thousands and thousands of Jamaat. In one Jamaat, there were floors that Imam was giving Isma Azam. This is the time of mercy. This is the time of progress. This is the time of success in spirituality because it is the end time. Those who have faith and they have knowledge, they will understand what is happening. They will benefit from it. And they are the ones Imam loves. But then we do not want to be in the category Imam does not love. Those who have half-hearted faith. May Mawla protect us. May Mawla give us true knowledge. Keep us serious seekers. Help us make that sacrifice which is needed to learn this true knowledge. Cut out the time from our worldly lives to focus our time and attention to this knowledge so we can learn the true knowledge and benefit our souls and be ready to meet Imam. We love Imam very much, and we do not want to be away from Imam. Ya Maula Mehrban, please help us. Ameen. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Friends, if you have any questions, you can post it in the chat or you can unmute your devices and ask the questions or comment.
Yali Madad.
Malali Madad.
I just want to say thank you so much for giving up so much of your time. It's completely exhilarating, this, and it's emotional. But thank you.
Shukran Maula, Shukran Maula. Yes, a moment's heart will be kind of, shaken by these words of Imam. So I agree, it is emotional. Yeah, and it is good that you are shedding tears, because shedding tears in our tariqah is called Girya Uzari. So if you are shedding tears, that's beautiful. That's really good. If you are able to shed tears with the words of Imam, because Girya Uzari is the evidence that these hearts are registering on your soul, because it is not easy, to shed tears. And in the worldly sense, we undermine the Girya Uzari by saying it emotional, because that's how the world sees it, a sign of weakness. But when you attend true knowledge classes, when you attend these classes which are full of knowledge and wisdom, you will learn it is beautiful to shed tears. So I would say, my dear sister, do not be saying that you're emotional. You are doing Girya Uzari. You are Giryan in the love of Imam, because these words
Ameen.
poking in your soul, awakening your soul. So this is beautiful. Thank you for
Ameen.
sharing that.
Ameen. Ameen.
And with your point, I would say I saw some comments that friends do want to learn about those zikr. And the reason I was emphasizing that not only we do need to do zikr, learn more zikr, and replace our worldly time in our mind, our thoughts with zikr, but doing zikr with the love of Imam in our heart, with Girya Ozari. So you will, I know, Mariam, you will enjoy those zikr a lot.
I have put my name down.
Good. Shukran Mala.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah. Any other friends, if you have any questions or any comments, you can unmute your devices and come forward.
Ali Madad.
Malali Madad.
I just wanted to understand, or maybe you can elaborate, when Sultan Muhammad Shah in 1885 talks about the end time to the Jama'at, what was his expectations on the Jama'at in terms of what was he telling them to do to prepare for that? And in today's context with Maulana Hazri Imam, which is still the end time, I presume, what are our expectations as modern murids of the Imam in terms of preparation for this end time that we're going through?
Very beautiful question. Very strong, powerful question. Thank you for asking that question. So that question is very broad, and let us just look at this Farman and find the criteria. So number one, end time. What is the expectations from us? Remember, we already have established that this Farman is applicable today too, because this is a spiritual Farman. It is not limited to time. It is a spiritual Farman. It is about our salvation. It is about our nijat. When we've established that, we've understood that, so there's no difference as per se in today's time, which is 2023 versus 1885. There's no difference. There are difference, and we will talk about it in terms of us, not that Farman has changed. When Imam is saying that this is end time, now I did give you examples of worldly progress as well as change in the spiritual practices, in the sense that now being Ismailis in Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's time and Haji Imam's time. The application to us is that we are very blessed with Ismail Azam. We are very blessed with Ismail Azam. Ismail Azam is like a, I would say, having a horse. As a Momin is Salik, as a Momin, there's a term, Momin and Momin is Salik. Salik means the one who walks. We say Sirat al-Mustaqim, to help us walk on the path of, like a straight path. So when we do not have Ismail Azam, it is as if we are walking. But when we have Ismail Azam, we are on the horse, riding the horse as fast as we want. It's up to us. But we have been given a very good horse, very special horse, let's say. And the reason I use the word horse, not to undermine Ismail Azam. Actually, Quran talks about Ismail Azam in the example of horse. And inshallah, we will talk about it. But just to make sense with examples, so we can, imagine. It is very important to be able to imagine so we can comprehend this concept. That without Ismail Azam, if you are walking, it will take very long time. But what if you had a horse? So you are running this horse very fast. Then what if this horse had wings? You'd be flying very fast. So the context in terms of the end time, number one is spiritually, Imam has given us the key to true happiness, and that is Ismail Azam. If we were to take this Jama'at into 1800, nobody is getting Ismail Azam because 99% of the Jama'ati members are failing the test. Imam is not testing us. He's asking one question. Are you willing? Are you committing? Yes? Come on in. True generosity of Imam. Now tell me honestly, what is the status of Jamaat with doing the ibadat? I don't need the answer to that. But Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah's first spiritual miracle was to give us Ismail Azam. To give us Ismail Azam. Worldly miracles, I did mention that from horse car to aeroplanes. Scientists, I remember one of the other event, if I just talk about the end time, right? Lord Mountbatten, Imam is with all these lords and, in British gathering, um, Imam picks up a piece of a metal and he says, shows it to Lord Mountbatten, a physicist actually, physicist. He says, do you think this can fly? He says, impossible. A piece of metal, can it fly? No, no, it cannot. Within few years, aeroplanes are flying. That is Imam's miracle. The issue is whatever we see today, this is a miracle, what we are doing. I do not know. I wish I would love to know if you can put it in a chat. How many countries are you joining from? How is it possible that we are able to see, if we would like to see each other, you can see me, but we are talking, communicating, how it became possible like that? It is a miracle of Imam, though we give credit to technology and the scientists. But scientists cannot have discovered this if it were not to be the mercy of Imam and the miracle of Imam. It is a miracle of Imam, believe me. Whatever we see in our world, it is all miracles of Imam. He is the Noor, he is the light. Every miracle which we see, worldly miracles in our physical world, and we think it is happening by scientists, but in reality, if you were to study Quran, it says very clearly that all what is in this physical world actually in its essence form is present in the world of command, in the spiritual world. With the light, which is Imam, what happens with his Noor, when the scientists discover it, they label it technology, cell phones, or whatever. They label it. But in reality, these are miracles of Imam. Only those who have true knowledge will be able to understand it and know that it is happening due to Imam. So there are physical miracles, there are spiritual miracles. Now the question is that how can we prepare ourselves? It is in relation to spirituality, because our preparation in relation to end time, which can also be our time of death, when we are leaving this physical body and meeting Imam. Are we ready? In that context, we are asking the question about spirituality. And Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah, in his Faramin, he has actually talked about very many secrets, very many secrets. Again, because we don't have the knowledge of Quran, Ginan, and Farmans, what happens, we partly understand it, and majority of time we do not understand the ta'wil which is hidden behind it. For example, I recall one of the Farman, Imam says, have you ever reflected where did Adam come from? Why would Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah talk of Adam? Adam who had come 7,000 years ago. If we were to study the books of our Buzurgwar Deen, our dignitaries, our Dais, our Hujjatan, we would find that Adam was in this world 7,000 years ago. Not only that he was there, they do give us his name too. Name? Then what was Adam? Was Adam not his name? We come to learn through the Tawili knowledge that Adam was just the title. His name was Takhum bin Bajla. Meaning, another question which we can ask, is the world only 7,000 years old? No. The world is millions and millions of years old. So when we think of Adam being the first man, what was that about? All this is hidden in true knowledge. These are secrets of Imam actually. Scientists may call bang theory, Big Bang theory or whatnot. But in reality, all this is hidden in true knowledge. Only those who will seek the true knowledge will know what Imam was asking us to do when he asked us. Have you reflected who the Adam is? If I were to ask you, what's your name? You might go to your great grandfather and that is it. But a smart moment will reach to Adam. But then, after that, Imam's expectation is from us to know even what was before Adam. And there was no world, Mawla, but there was something. Imam is asking us to know. That is the level of preparation at the level of knowledge we need to do. That is what Imam is asking us in 1885. Due to true knowledge, we will understand what is the exalted status of our Imam. Only Imam can help us understand. His guidance can help us understand. His practice, the practice he has given to us of Isme Azam will help us understand that what are the hidden secrets. And then we would know that there are three different levels, which is Ilmul Yaqeen, Ainul Yaqeen, Haqqul Yaqeen, certainty of knowledge, certain eye of certainty, and then truth of certainty. So knowledge is the first step. And for that ability, for us to have knowledge, we needed to be able to read and write, understand languages. What did Imam Sultan Muhammad Shah do? Opened up the schools. And today we are majority of Ismailis. Alhamdulillah, we are all educated. We can read and write and we can comprehend and articulate. To do what? To become professionals, to live in a good houses, to have good earnings? No. No, this was not the purpose. The purpose was that we would be able to read the books of our dignitaries, get that knowledge, true knowledge. So the first level of preparation is seek true knowledge. If we were to have true knowledge, then in our ibadat, we will be able to witness the miracles of Imam. How does that happen? True knowledge helps improve our world of imagination. World of imagination, which is called Alam-e-Khayal. And those who are readers of Farman, they will know, Imam says, have you ever reflected? You need to spend 2 hours in Khayal. That Khayal is actually called world of imagination. And it is expected of us to have 2 hours of be with our world of imagination. How can we do that? How can we do that? I'm not referring to our busy life. No, I'm not referring to that. That is the case with everybody, Ismailis or non-Ismaili. But when Imam is expecting Ismailis to be with Alam-e-Khayal, meaning that when we have knowledge, our body will live in the physical world, but our thoughts will be higher than all. Where does it start? With zikr, with knowledge, and then it will elevate. Alam-e-Khayal. After the Alam-e-Khayal comes Alam-e-Khab, the world of dreams. That changes. World of dreams. And then comes the world of spirituality. So what I'm saying, in other words, there are stages. How do we prepare ourselves? First thing, true knowledge. Second thing, Isme Azam, going hand by hand. Ilmo Amal, knowledge and Isme Azam has to be there with conviction. When we have that, the world of imagination will improve, the world of dreams will be enlightened, and then world of spirituality is not far. And once we are in that world, we are prepared. We are on the path of preparation ourselves, preparing ourselves. And that's what it means for the Jama'at at that time and Jama'at in today's time for us today. But can you imagine what makes me kind of, I don't want to use any harsh words, but look at these friends who worked so hard to make this group and call these friends. How many of us are here? And how did you make it here? You had to make your intention, make a choice, allocate your time, not be occupied in calls or anything, paying attention, reflecting, listening, understanding, absorbing. Very few are truly those who come forward and learn and give commitment, give sacrifice to be ready for that time. And that is why Imam says, how could we love such people? Those who have half-hearted faith. How could we love? It takes commitment. It takes sincerity that this is what we want. We knew about the power of the Isme Azam, and that's why we said this is what we want, no matter what. Imam says, I trust you. Are you willing? Come on. But that is like having one oar of a canoe. If we are sitting in a canoe, we need both the oars to move forward. If you just have one oar, what will happen? We'll go round and round, round and round, round and round. So yes, we all have been sitting in Ibadat, practicing Isme Azam, but have we moved forward? If we have not moved forward, what is missing? The second oar. And what is that? True knowledge. So again, Mubarak Badi to all these friends who are here, that you gave that sacrifice and gave your time commitment to be here. And I'm truly grateful to you. Ji.
Subhanallah, Subhanallah, Shukran Lillah, Alhamdulillah, Shukran Lillah, Alhamdulillah. Friends, if you have any comments, you can come forward. We will end the session here otherwise.
So I see that Mariam is joining from Tanzania. Thank you for sharing that. I do know one is from South Africa, from Tanzania. I wonder where other friends are joining from.
Yeah, with that.
My
name is Imran. I'm joining from Wales in the UK. And I just want to say thank you very much. I really enjoyed that, and I'm also very emotional. But this is the first time I've joined this group, and I hope to be able to make time to join more in the future. But it's just been such a wonderful time to spend. So thank you.
Shukran. Shukran. Thank you, Imran.
I just wanted to say thank you for your time. I really appreciated it, all the dedication that you've given to help us and try to enlighten us a bit more. Inshallah, I will try. Saturdays are not always easy, but I just wanted to ask, will you be sending out the recordings?
I will.
You will. Okay, thank you. Shukr.
Shukran. Thank you for joining, Rosie.
Thank you.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
My name is Izzat from UK, London. I'm very, very grateful to you, Niamat Appa. Really
Super,
grateful
thank you.
because I don't want to miss your program. 12 વાગે હું તસ્બી કાઢવા જાતી હતી 12 વાગે તો મોલાને કહું છું કે મોલા તમે કહો છો કે નોલેજ છે ને ખપતું હોય તો તમે ચાઇના સુધી જાઓ તો
Bilkul.
હું આ તસ્બી પછી કાઢીશ પહેલા નિયામતનું સાંભળી લઉં તો is that okay? Is that okay?
It is absolutely okay. It is absolutely okay.
Because I was feeling guilty કે મોલાને એક બાજુ રાખી દે હવે knowledgeમાં જાઉં તો I was feeling emotional as well. મને શું કરવું નહીં કારણ કે knowledge
નહીં.
બી મને છે તો
The word ibadat encompasses all our tasbih, all our ibadat and true knowledge classes. So what you did is ibadat, but it is ibadat of knowledge. Tasbih is a zikr ibadat. It is also ibadat. Isme Azam ibadat is also ibadat. So there are different ways of doing ibadat. So there's no need to be guilty, is it? There's no need to be guilty. You did wonderful. Because you do need to do zikr, which you normally do, regularly do. But today, what you're saying, that I want more than that. So today you are seeking knowledge, and that's wonderful. Maula would be pleased with you because you learned in the Farman. Imam says, with true knowledge, we will know his hakikat. So beautiful.
We can end here. Just wanting to say one thing that usually when the friends are asking question, would just request to mute after they ask a question so the recording stays clear. Thank you, friends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Niamat.
Thank you, Yali Madad. Thank you, Merijan. Yali Madad, Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.
Yali Madad.